In conclusion, the video serves as a guide on the nuances of communication and the importance of discretion in various contexts. By understanding when to speak and when to hold back, individuals can cultivate healthier relationships, maintain personal integrity, and avoid unnecessary conflicts. The speaker encourages viewers to reflect on their communication habits and consider the potential ramifications of their words, ultimately advocating for a thoughtful approach to conversation. The 10 situations outlined reinforce the importance of silence, respect, and careful information sharing, promoting a more considerate and mature interaction style. No matter how strongly you feel about saying something, there are times when it's best to hold your tongue. Speaking up in these situations can backfire. Today, let's explore 10 instances when you should remain silent, even if you want to speak. First, avoid revealing secrets that could complicate matters later. Don't expose your weaknesses too quickly. While you might want to connect with others by opening up, doing so can place you in a vulnerable position. Some individuals try to build closeness by sharing their vulnerabilities immediately, but they often forget that these revelations could come back to haunt them. People and situations can change unexpectedly. Just because someone appears trustworthy now doesn't guarantee their behavior won't change. Therefore, it's wise to refrain from diving into deep conversations too soon. Genuine intimacy develops gradually, not through forced disclosures of weaknesses. Careless words can lead to painful outcomes. Reflecting on my past, I once opened up to someone I trusted, believing our relationship would remain secure forever. This kind of mindset is risky. The personal stories I shared in confidence could come back to haunt me, particularly in close settings or during casual gatherings. If I reveal my weaknesses too quickly, the other person might use that information against me. I must exercise caution to prevent these situations, even when I desire to share. Both of us should establish some boundaries rather than divulge everything. Authenticity is rooted in maintaining appropriate distance and trust, not in oversharing. On another note, spreading false information as though it's true is highly irresponsible. People who assert their assumptions as facts without verifying them can damage relationships without considering the feelings of others. For example, friends might gossip when someone they know breaks up, falsely claiming that one party was dumped due to a lack of affection. It's often untrue that the couple wanted to break up, but when outsiders speculate and spread rumors, it can create feelings of injustice and anger for those involved. This behavior can escalate from simple misunderstandings into significant problems. Talking about speculation as if it's fact stems from arrogance. As stories are passed around, they can become exaggerated and distorted, ultimately differing significantly from the original account. This leads some people to judge others based on these inflated rumors. Thus, it's best to avoid casually sharing unverified stories. Even if you label it speculation, others may still treat it as the truth, which could make you inadvertently responsible for spreading rumors. Being cautious in conversations is essential, particularly when discussing other people's stories. Always check the facts thoroughly. Incorrect information can deeply hurt others and damage reputations. Ultimately, conversations should focus on understanding and empathizing with one another. Even though language is merely a tool for communication, the spread of misinformation completely undermines its original purpose. Instead of fostering connection, it can drive people apart and erode trust. Before you voice your thoughts, you must pause and reflect on whether your words are true and how they might impact others. Doing so lays the groundwork for more trustworthy and meaningful relationships. Consider this: gossip may seem like a casual pastime but can have serious consequences. It spreads like wildfire and the repercussions can haunt you. Bad-mouthing someone is akin to shouting it in a crowded room. Despite your efforts to keep it quiet, someone will inevitably hear it. Therefore, it's wise to avoid situations where gossip is prevalent. In such a scenario, you risk unintentionally participating and becoming part of the problem. Furthermore, exposing your weaknesses or mistakes too readily can be detrimental, especially if the person you're confiding in isn't a true friend. Sharing your vulnerabilities can lead to significant regrets. Once something is said, it often comes back around, and the effects can be lasting. Instead of focusing on what's wrong with others, highlight their strengths and encourage them. Building positive relationships through kind words is far more rewarding than gossiping. Let's address a more challenging truth. Sometimes honesty can hurt. If telling the truth is likely to cause someone pain, even if you feel compelled to voice it, holding back might be the wisest choice. Many of us are taught that truth is paramount, but delivering it carelessly can lead to unnecessary conflict and suffering. In friendships and close relationships, discernment is key. If revealing that truth isn't essential, it can be better to keep it to yourself. Words hold immense power. They can wound deeply. For instance, if a friend faces financial difficulties, it demonstrates compassion to avoid bringing such matters directly. By exercising restraint, you can protect their feelings and prevent more significant issues from arising. Remember, the more you talk, the more opportunities there are for mistakes. Choosing silence at the right moment reflects wisdom and maturity. If the other person shows disinterest, even if you believe your message is crucial, it's better to keep it to yourself. When your words are brushed aside, silence becomes your best option. We often overestimate the importance of what we have to say, but expressing it is simply a waste of effort if the other party doesn't value your input. Forcing your words upon someone who isn't receptive will only exhaust you. Silence can be the most potent form of communication in those moments, especially when words fail. Looking back, you'll find that few people regret holding back their words. Most regrets stem from saying too much. Mastering the art of restraint can bring inner peace and enhance your relationships. Remember, even in a world entirely of chatter, silence can convey so much more. Choose it wisely and watch your connections strengthen and thrive. Understanding the value of knowledge means recognizing that it can often be only half formed. Sometimes, silence communicates a more powerful message than words ever could. It's not merely about speaking less, it's about asserting control over the situation and preserving your self-worth. In silence, we can observe others' reactions more profoundly, enabling us to make better judgments. By restraining our words and opting for silence, we safeguard our self-esteem and avoid unnecessary emotional exhaustion. When it comes to giving unsolicited advice, caution is key. Even well-meaning suggestions can be perceived as nagging if the recipient isn't open. Most people can resolve their issues and seek help when needed. Offering advice that hasn't been solicited often comes across as arrogant self-satisfaction. Forcing opinions on others without grasping their circumstances can damage relationships. Therefore, it's wise to hold back on giving advice and wait until necessary. If you find it crucial to provide guidance, consider the other person's perspective and approach the situation with care. Avoiding excessive criticism and the urge to showcase your knowledge is essential. Adopting a teaching stance can alienate others. Instead, think of advising a lighthouse. Guiding someone who's lost. The aim should be to illuminate the path. You may inadvertently drive the other person away if you appear boastful during this process. Wise individuals know when to speak and when to remain silent. Empowering others to address their issues is essential, and allowing them the opportunity to do so is significant. Excessive interference or unsolicited advice can undermine someone's pride. The person offering advice should maintain humility, concentrating on helping others uncover their solutions rather than displaying their knowledge. A wise individual shares insights only when necessary and shows respect for others. Moreover, while light-heartedly talking about family can seem harmless at the moment, it carries a significant weight once spoken. This applies to any negative comments about others, especially regarding their families. Engaging in that behavior reflects poorly on you and can drive people away. Everyone has their narrative. No one is without struggles or hidden truths, including parents, siblings, and even children. Therefore, prying into the secrets of your child or encroaching on their issues is simply unacceptable. Wise individuals honor each other's privacy and personal thoughts, even among family. In contrast, thoughtless individuals may leak family issues to others for sympathy while indulging in gossip. Although sharing family problems might offer momentary relief, it only adds to one's distress in the long term. After all, criticizing your family is akin to disrespecting yourself. If I had navigated situations better, I wouldn't have clashed with my partner, and things would have been more straightforward with my children. Ultimately, the responsibility for how things turned out lies with me. I realize now that it's essential for me to take responsibility for my actions. From this point forward, I will never speak negatively about my family to others and treat them with the love and respect they deserve. Family should be a sanctuary of support and warmth. When someone around you disparages their own family, it's a clear sign to distance yourself from them. If they can speak ill of their closest relatives, it's only a matter of time before they turn that negativity toward you. Surrounding yourself with such individuals can only lead to conflict and mistrust. Moreover, let's talk about money. This topic deserves careful consideration, even among families. Mentioning your financial success, even in passing, can lead to unexpected consequences. Suddenly, distant relatives or acquaintances you haven't connected with in years may reappear, all eager to share their valuable insights or pitch your business ideas. These once tenuous connections become more pronounced as they seek to capitalize on your success. When you start to speak about your financial situation, whether it's about doing well or having some extra cash, be prepared for people to come out of the woodwork. Individuals you barely know will begin asking for favors, often masked as opportunities to invest or earn together. They may claim they're good people just looking to help, but they're focused solely on their agenda, your money. It's crucial to avoid boasting about your financial well being. The moment you bring it up, your relationships can become strained. Even if you try to express your side of things, feelings can be hurt, and it's frustrating to watch others treat your hard earned money as if it's theirs. The more successful you become, the more complicated these dynamics can get. What starts as innocent sharing can quickly become expectations from family members who think you must support them. Things become trickier when the same people who came to you when times were good vanish during your struggles. They're often not true friends but simply waiting for the next wave. If your business takes a downturn, don't be surprised if those who benefited from your success suddenly withdraw, citing their difficulties while leaving you to fend for yourself. If I had set more explicit boundaries in the past, I wouldn't be dealing with these complications today. It's easy to want to help, to give generously, but doing so often invites jealousy and unwanted expectations. The truth is, the more you give, the more people desire what you have. To protect your relationships and maintain a sense of peace, it's critical to be mindful of both your words and the company you keep. By prioritizing my family and avoiding discussing money, I can create a more supportive and respectful environment for everyone involved. Let's build genuine connections based on trust and understanding rather than financial interests. This shift in perspective can strengthen our bonds and create a more harmonious atmosphere for all. It's easy to feel disheartened when you realize that some people smile and speak kindly to your face, yet they're quick to criticize you behind your back. This reality can be particularly magnified when it comes to finances. Regardless of how close you think you are to someone, it's wise to refrain from discussing your bank account details or boasting about your earnings. If you can't handle the potential fallout of what money talk can do to your relationships, you must remember that it can easily ignite envy and jealousy. Even if you feel you're doing well, it can foster unnecessary tension once others catch wind of your wealth. As a parent, your focus is often on your child's hard work rather than their financial success. Most parents take pride in their children's efforts and accomplishments rather than coveting their money. This understanding underscores the importance of being careful around those you are closest to, mainly regarding financial matters. Being mindful about money can protect your relationships and peace of mind. Moreover, reflecting on the past can bring about its own set of challenges. While it's natural to reminisce about previous accomplishments, doing so excessively can lead to misunderstandings and create a target for mockery or jealousy. Remember, we have one mouth and two ears for a reason to listen twice as much as we speak. So, practice listening instead of letting everything spill out of your mouth. Bragging can often backfire, turning you into discomfort for others. When my relationships suffer, I realize I must take responsibility for my role, mainly if I was the one boasting. Yes, sharing and celebrating each other's successes is entirely acceptable. Still, if I'm the only one talking about my achievements, it can come off as showing off and disrupt the balance of communication. Bringing up past glories casually can lead to awkwardness rather than admiration. When I encounter those who constantly reminisce about better days, I question why they are fixated on the past rather than looking forward to the present. Too much talk about old achievements can paint a picture of stagnation, making one seem disconnected from reality. There's always a downside to excessive bragging. Instead of parading your every minor achievement, remember that actual value lies in authenticity. Real pride shines brightest when it comes from others. One of life's essential skills is learning to say no and recognizing when to avoid unnecessary interference. Many feel overwhelmed by others who intrude into their affairs, offering unsolicited advice on leading their lives. While this guidance may stem from a place of concern, it often turns into unwarranted meddling. There's no reason to entertain such interference if it doesn't harm anyone or violate social norms. Meddling can inflict harm on the person who intrudes and the one who is being intruded upon. It's a power play where the meddler seeks to impose their will on another, disrupting the natural balance of relationships. So, let's commit to fostering respect and understanding in our interactions. By listening more than we speak, honoring our successes without boasting, and safeguarding our personal space from unnecessary interference, we can cultivate healthier, more authentic relationships that thrive on mutual respect and genuine connection. Life is far too precious to be governed by the whims and opinions of others. Manipulating others into doing what you want rarely yields positive outcomes. Interference often manifests as perceived judgment, making you seem condescending or controlling. When individuals intrude into someone else's choices, it not only undermines that person's autonomy but can also stir feelings of anger and anxiety. This dynamic can set the stage for unintentional conflicts, even among the closest relationships. Consider the impact of even the smallest interference. What may seem harmless to one person can feel immensely intrusive to another. Such actions can lead to irresponsible behavior, breeding resentment and distrust. The consequences multiply when it comes to parental involvement in their children's lives. While parents naturally want the best for their kids, taking control over their lives often leads to misplaced intentions. Parents can't live their children's lives for them or bear the responsibility for the outcomes of their actions. The ultimate responsibility rests with the individual being interfered with, who is left to navigate the repercussions of choices made on their behalf. Maintaining one's autonomy is paramount in life. The ability to forge your path without being swayed by external influences is critical. Your journey is alone, influenced by your experiences, values, and goals. While listening to others' opinions and advice is essential, you must differentiate between guidance and interference. Beware those who overstep boundaries and try to impose their will on you, as they can steer you away from your true aspirations. Consider the following example: you've worked diligently toward a specific career path. You're passionate and committed. Then, a relative offers unsolicited advice, suggesting an entirely different career path they believe is more lucrative or prestigious. While their intent might be caring, this interference can make you question your goals and aspirations. If you allow that, you may stray from what truly fulfills you, leading to frustration and regret. The issue extends beyond personal ambitions. Interference can also seep into relationships. In a friendship, for instance, one friend may feel compelled to advise the other on handling a breakup or relationship difficulties. While the intent is often to help, it can leave the individual feeling belittled and unheard. It shifts the focus from their unique experience to how the friend perceives what they should do. This kind of interference can damage the foundation of trust relationships built upon. Let's also address the notion of being a helicopter parent, a term used to describe parents who overly involve themselves in their children's lives. While the intent is generally one of love and protection, this behavior can inadvertently undermine a child's ability to think for themselves. Children who grow up under constant parental supervision may struggle to make decisions independently as adults. They may even exhibit increased anxiety or resentment toward their parents, leading to strained family relationships. However, being supportive does not mean taking over someone's life. It involves being present, listening, and offering guidance only when asked. True support empowers individuals and respects their autonomy, fostering growth and self-discovery. Create a nurturing space where open conversations can occur, allowing them to express their thoughts without fear of judgment. This approach cultivates trust and strengthens the bond between you. So, how do we learn to maintain autonomy in the face of interference? First and foremost, recognize your worth and the validity of your choices. Trust your instincts and judgment. When faced with conflicting opinions, take a moment to reflect and determine which path resonates with you most. Engage in self-reflection to help clarify your values and goals. Secondly, practice assertiveness. If you receive unsolicited advice, communicate your boundaries with kindness and clarity. Let others know that while you appreciate their concern, you desire to make your own choices and learn from your experiences. Assertive communication is not confrontational, it's an essential life skill that reinforces your autonomy and invites respect from those around you. Thirdly, surround yourself with supportive individuals who respect your journey. Cultivate relationships with those who encourage you to follow your path without imposing their expectations. These positive connections serve as a reminder that healthy relationships thrive on understanding and mutual respect. Lastly, embrace the power of listening without losing your voice. Listening is a valuable skill that allows you to grow and expand your perspectives. However, balance it with your agency. You can hear others without feeling obligated to conform to their views. Throughout exploring relationships, autonomy, and the consequences of interference, we've dissected various challenging situations. Recognizing that we go through tough times, leaning on our support systems can bring solace. However, we must also safeguard our uniqueness and autonomy amid the noise. In closing, I encourage you to reevaluate the dynamics in your relationships. Are they built on mutual respect and understanding, or do they lean toward interference and control? Are you nurturing your autonomy while encouraging others to do the same? Life is too short to live according to someone else's expectations or desires. As we wrap up this discussion, I invite you to reflect on our shared wisdom today. How do these insights resonate with your experiences? What steps can you take to foster a healthier relationship with yourself and others? Your thoughts are valuable, please leave them in the comments. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I appreciate each one of you for being part of the Paw Patrol 1004 community. Together, let's strive for authentic connections and celebrate our individuality. Remember, the choice to maintain your path lies within you. It's time to embrace your autonomy and cultivate relationships that uplift and inspire. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to our following conversation.